Hi, everybody. Uh, Welcome to the winter workshop for pop-up cards. As you can tell, I am giving you a little hint behind. We are currently in the workshop, the actual workshop for this building. This is where Bob and Tim hang out. And so I have to tell you, but this is also where we control the television. Here's the servers and all of that. So the reason I'm down here is, well, I have to be honest with you. The reason I'm down here is because I'm having a COVID day. So I feel like I'm having one of those days where COVID has influenced everything around me, and because everything has to be online and everything, I'm just having one of those days where I'm going, man, doing things in the COVID new world is tough. So you're going to have to bear with me. I'm on my own today, but I have all of our supplies and I have even some examples. I'm really excited about this. And so I'm going to share with you how we're going to make pop-up cards. I have to tell you, so the reason I know a little bit about this is because maybe a year ago, my 9-year-old, well, now 9, younger then, was invited to a birthday party, and I realized we didn't have a birthday card. And so instead of going out and getting one, I real quick pulled up, I don't know if it was Pinterest or Google or something, and I said, how do we make an easy pop-up card? And we ended up making a pop-up card that looked like a birthday cake. And it was very simple. I mean, it was a lot simpler than I thought it was going to be, and it was really fun. And so when I had seen around the holidays that there were ways to make pop-up cards, I thought this would be a really fun thing for the winter workshop. So here's the little supply kit that were available downstairs in Murphy's living room. So if you have this kit, I'm going to go through what your supplies are. You have a very, very fancy top of the line paperclip, which you can discard or keep to do something else. You've got a couple little pieces of cut up scrapbook paper. So go ahead and set those somewhere where you know you can find them again. You've got some squares, you're gonna have some triangles, maybe some Christmas trees. You're gonna have just a variety, if you will. And then you're going to have enough equipment to make 3 cards. So you have different colors. And there's all kinds of colors. My thought is you'll get the hang of this, and there's going to be some people who are really into it and want to do more. And so we can show you ways to do more. But if you're just getting the hang of it, maybe start, if you've got a pink one or a black one and it's a color you probably aren't going to use, start with that one. So today I'm going to start with blue. And the first card that we're going to make is very simple. It's called a step card. And that's the technique. And so here is the idea. So here is a card that I made yesterday as an example, and it's a step card. So you open it up and something pops up. And if you can see, there's just a little step that is created. So it's very simple. What we're going to do is I assume you have a pair of scissors. If you don't have a pair of scissors, go grab some, because you're going to need scissors and a glue stick or glue. So here are my scissors, and I'm going to take my the little sheet that you were given, and I'm going to actually right now I'm going to tilt this down so you can see what I'm doing. Okay. And you're going to cut along the dotted lines, but not along, you're going to cut along the slash. So do you see how there's one thin strip here? Don't do anything else, but just cut along that line. So let's do that together. And I have to say, I really wish we were doing this in person. Today is definitely a day where I'm done with COVID. Oh boy. Okay, so you should have this strip of paper. Okay. So now what you're going to see is that there are 2 solid lines in the middle. Okay. So let's give both of those solid lines a cut all the way through. So you're going to end up with 3 little pieces of paper. This tiny one in the middle, you can discard, okay? So you're gonna end up with these 2 pieces right here, okay? And one of them we're gonna set aside because you might wanna use it later because we only need 1. So what you'll see is that there are little dots on each of these lines. And what we're going to do is I'm gonna show you how you can decide for your card what you wanna do. So you can decide whether you want to fold 1 dot. so that your card, hypothetically, and so what you do when you fold it with pop-up cards is you always fold both ways, because we're making essentially mountains and valleys. Okay. All right. And now, so you've got your edges. They're nice and bendy. And now we're going to just also fold it right in the middle. And we want to use our fingernails. We want to be nice and foldy. And again, I folded it both ways. So I folded it one way, and then I turned it and I folded it the other way so that it will hinge like this. Okay. So once you've done that, we're going to use this card as an example, right? Here's my step card. The idea, and just hold it here. You don't need to do glue quite yet. I just want you to see the idea is that you would glue the one side and then the other side. See? And that is what makes the step. Can you understand that concept? Get the hang of that concept? And so when you are gluing it, it's easy for you to make it into a valley. So what we're going to do, this is what they recommend. So I'm going to get a new card so that I can make this with you. So here's my fresh card with nothing inside. And I am going to put a dab of glue on the two edges. Now be very careful not to put glue on this center part, right? You just want to put it on your two edges that will stay attached to the card. And what I found that the easiest way to make sure that it gets stuck in the right spot and will pop up where it's supposed to is you keep it in half there, set it where you want it. If you want it to the off side, if you want it in the center, wherever you'd like it, and see how I'm putting it in here so that the edge of the fold, where the fold happens is in where the fold of the card happens. Is that clear? And then you're going to close it and you'll rub it a little bit. Make sure that it gets nice and stuck on. Okay. And now we're going to open it. We know that the glue is still a little bit wet. We're going to open it. And now, because we have, okay, I'm going to hold it on here a little more. But now that we know that we did that pop, did I not get enough glue on there? Oh, I guess my glue dried. I was too busy talking and my glue dried. That sounds about normal for me, doesn't it, folks? Okay. All right. And now you pop it up. Ha ha. And you have a step. Pretty cool. All right. Now on this one, our thought was that people could choose, I guess since I'm talking to you again, our thought was that people could choose one of these pictures to put on it. So if you would like to, you could cut one of those out. You could color it and cut it out. The other idea that I like to use, because I have to tell you, I'm a very lazy crafter. I'm not ashamed of it. I'm a very lazy crafter. Don't discard this. We're going to need this in a second, but set this aside. One of my other favorite things to do would be to take a card. There's a whole bunch of them downstairs where maybe the picture is pretty, but maybe the message isn't your style. Maybe there's a really pretty piece of wrapping paper. And for that, this is my secret trick. I'm going to show you again. I'm going to put this down here. I'm going to take the coffee cup that currently has coffee in it. So this is a double duty. I'm going to take a pen and I'm going to make a little circle. That's what I'm going to do. But again, you can do whatever you want. You could cut out one of these pictures. You could utilize one of these to make a present. It's really up to you. This is where your own creativity gets involved. If you had a photograph of yourself, I think it would be hilarious to have that pop up to say, hi, I miss you. And then you open it up and it's an actual photo of you. In fact, I might do that now that I thought of it. That would be really, really funny. So now I have this lovely picture of a cardinal, which was also my my mother's, what's it called? Alma mater's, her high school. I feel like I always heard about the Cardinals from the little town that my mom grew up in. All right. So now I put a little bit of glue on the step right there. I'm going to pop it out. Don't give me trouble here. And I'm going to put in that cardinal right here, doing the same thing. I'm going to give it a little squeeze, and I'm going to close it. And again, give it a rub. Oh my gosh, you guys. I just realized in all my excitement, I did it backwards. See, look, it's upside down. So, but that's no problem because I don't think anything's dry yet. So I'm just going to switch it. Listen, nobody ever told you had a professional paper artist. That was never part of the deal. If anything, I'm just giving you a little more time to work on whatever you are currently working on. All right. Oh, man. What a gal. That Missy, she is something else. Oh, I'm broadcasting live right now, teaching everybody to make pop-up cards. Here we go. So now it works. So you could put a photograph. You could put a picture right here, and then you're going to open up that step, and you have a pop-up card. Is it working for you? Do I hear screams of disappointment or delight coming from the second, third, fourth, and fifth floors? All right, so this is our first one. This is the easiest one, right? This is the basic concept. So now you understand the concept of the mountain fold, because this is a mountain fold, right? The idea is that this is the part that folds up, and in this one, this is called the valley fold that folds down. So now we're going to get a little more complicated. Are you mentally prepared for this? I think I'm hearing people say, yes, they are mentally prepared for this. I am not. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so this is our first card. So now let's move on to our second card. Now, you've got your piece of paper. There's another slashed line right here. That's what I would like you to cut. Because we are making the interior of our next card. And again, you could use these. You could chop these out, give them a color, a nice little star, a nice little dreidel, a lovely holiday tree. Again, as a lazy crafter, I'm a big fan of This Becomes a Present. I'm going to show you how I do that in just a moment. Again, very lazy crafter. So this size of paper should fit pretty closely inside. So let's fold it in half real quick so that we can see what it is. Are you not, Sam, are you not enjoying my tutorial? Come over and say hi.
Hi.
Sam, we're making pop-up cards.
Oh.
Yeah, you saw these yesterday. So when you do this, you'll notice that there's a smidge that hangs over. What do you think we should do, Sam?
Cut it?
We're going to cut it off. Sam's a genius. Okay,
Okay.
thank you for shutting the door. Okay. Yeah, it's fine. Now this part doesn't, no, you can chop it. It's good. This part doesn't matter in terms of the preciseness. You could be really precise, but again, lazy crafter. So I am just going to look and know that it's a little bit further off. So I'm just going to cut it that much. And now I know that at least the white will not come over. It looks like I might need to cut just a smidge off the edge. Just a smidge. Just a little bit. Okay. So now this piece of paper will fit inside my other card. So I'll give you guys a second to do that. Okay. Now I want to show you next a mistake. So when I first attempted this is the idea. We're going to make some more of these mountains, right? And we're going to make multiple mountains inside this card. Now, here's the issue. If you are cutting your mountain, you have to be very careful that it never goes further than halfway of the card, because remember, it folds out. And this is why. You close it, and it has a tongue, right? So you can't do that. So when you are making your mountain cards, you can use a ruler if you'd like. I know there's some very precise people, and I admire that. So if you would like to make sure that you use a ruler and make sure you don't go halfway, that's totally fine. I'm an eyeballer. It's a blessing and a curse. So we're going to do the eyeball style. Did I bring my other? Oh man, I guess I didn't bring, I had one other example that I meant to bring down, but I guess I forgot it in my rush. So this is I forgot to show you this one too. So this one says Festive Christmaca. So this is for many of us, we have friends and family members who are maybe part of a blended family that have Christmas and Hanukkah. So all I did was I colored the Christmas tree and I colored the menorah and I wrote Merry and Bright. Happy Christmaka, love Missy. And so this is just 2 different steps, very simple. And I just glued those on, and that's, again, that step style card, which is why you have a second one of these, so that if you wanted to make one with 2 pop-ups, you could. But for this guy, we're going to make presents. And so we're going to get a little wild here. So take your pencil or pen. And it looks like the door opened again. So one moment. Okay, sorry about that. So we're gonna take our pen, and then I'm gonna kind of just eyeball where the middle is. So my middle looks to be right about here. So I am going to make sure that I don't cut. So I'm gonna take a little, we're going to make a stack of presents is our goal. So we're going to make 3 cuts that are progressively smaller, okay? Because the card is going to open, this way, and it'll be a stack of presents inside. And that's the example that I forgot to bring down. You have to forgive me. Okay, so I'm going to make sure I've got a little bit of space on the bottom. So let's say I'll start right here. Maybe my first cut will start here. And again, I can't go further than halfway. So I think I'm going to have my first present end around here. I'm just going to mark it. And then I'll have my next present end around here. And I'll have my next present end around here. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. So now I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to make 3 cuts. My first cut is going to be to my first dot. I'm sorry if this is, I think you can see this, yeah. And then my second cut is going to be to my second dot. And then my third cut is going to be to my third dot. Now, do you remember the cardinal rule of pop-up cards? Oh, wait, I need one more. I need a 4th one. Will be this little baby one right here. Okay, and now we'll have a stack of 3 presents. I forgot that the top and the bottom mean an extra cut. Okay. Now, remember our cardinal rule that all pop-ups have to be folded both ways. So I folded it that way first, and now I'm going to fold the other way so that it will pop up. And I want to make sure I'm right on the nose with these guys because it's got to pop up. Okay. Okay. Now, the other interesting thing about when you make the present style is you need to fold the gifts. Now, what you're going to fold is you want to fold a line that is equal with your shortest line. So like if you look at this big one, you can see that it's at a diagonal. You don't want to do the diagonal. You want to fold it straight across on the shortest line, okay? And then the next one, same thing, straight across on the shortest line. And then the next one as well, straight across on the shortest line. And then again, cardinal rule, you got to do it both ways. So you're going to lift it up and then you're going to go back the other way. You kind of score it, right? And there's all kinds of tools and fancy things you can use if you really get into pop-up cards. But that's not us, or that's not me at least. Maybe one of you guys will get the pop-up card bug. Okay. So now we should have 3 little flaps that are going back and forth both ways. And so now let's give it a try. So we're going to open this up. And then I made some marks on this one. So this is the one that I don't want people to see. So I'm going to want this part to be my inside. So I'm going to fold it like this. And then I'm going to pop my mountains forward and my valleys back. So, so if you were putting it in the card, sometimes that helps. Put it in the card. And then when I open it, you can see, I think you can see, it's hard for me to see what my screen is showing you. You can see that there are 3 cards, 3 presents. Do you see that? Pretty cool, huh? And so now what we're going to do is we're going to glue, sorry, down here again. We're going to glue this part of the paper to the card, and we do it one at a time because it's just too hard to do it all at the same time. So we want to make sure that our creases are lined up just right, and we're going to use our glue stick or our rubber cement or our glue or whatever you're currently using to adhere. So we do one side. Again, make sure it goes right in the right spot. Close it. Flip it over. You guys, I just realized I was going to do the same thing. If this is the front of the card, it's upside down. So we're going to switch. Switcheroo. Switcheroo. Don't worry, the glue's still there. All right, hang on. It's very hard to do the craft while telling you how to do the craft. All right. So one side is glued down. So now the other side, I could use some tips from Ann Jones. She's our expert here at teaching people all the crafts. Okay, and go this way, and then we'll close it up. Okay, so now when you open this card, 3 presents. Now here's the fun part is you can decorate these 3 presents. You can choose if you wanted to decorate them ahead of time, like that's an option, but I just felt like that would be kind of complicated. Now, what I did, or what I like to do, is think smarter, not harder, and use some of the pre-decorated things you may have received in your little container. So let's say this seems like this will fit, so I'm going to bend this in half. Put a little bit of glue. Oops, here we go. This one looks like it will fit right here. So I'm going to put it just like this. And that will be a present. Oh, got a stick on there. And then let's see, maybe I'll do this one as well for this area. There's a little bit of a contrast. Again, get a little, gotta make sure it sticks on there just right. Stick, stick, stick is what I'm doing, pushing it down. And then I've got my one on the very tip top. Let's see, should we do, that one looks like it'll fit perfectly. So I'll do nice and thin. Again, a little bit of glue. And then sometimes this is where it gets tricky when you got your mountain and your valley folds. All right. So now we can take our Shopee and we can say, my wish for you, ... Oh, looks like I need a little more glue. There we go. Push it down again. My wish for you, and I'll say, is a mountain of presents. And then, and peace on earth, because you can't look too greedy. Love, Missy. Now, who would not be thrilled to get this in the mail and know that a craft idiot like myself made it just for them? So that's the next version. And of course, I hope that the people who are prone to this type of thing get the concept, get the idea, and then are able to, make it their own, do more exciting things. So we're going to do one more that is a little more complicated. And this one's my favorite one. So you should have received 2 pieces of craft paper. This one's a little thicker. You may recognize this actually if you are a mother here, because this is what our Mother's Day cards were made out of that we sent everybody at the Canyon this year, which was really fun. So we are going to make a little forest. And so you should have received a couple little trees. You could use the pattern side or the not pattern side. You could also, if you don't want to utilize your other ones, you could make a tree, or you could put presents, you could put gifts. It's really up to you. And this is what we're going to essentially make. So I put a square on the top so it looked like a present. I used a marker to make that part, and then I opened it up and it says Happy Holidays. And so I've got 3 different mountain folds out. And if you can look and see, they're different sizes. So I've got 2 of the same on the outside that had 2 little gifts. And then I had 1 in the center that's a little tree. So this is the next one that we're going to attempt. And I think we can do it because we have conquered 2 other cards. So let's give it a whirl, shall we? I know we're approaching half an hour, so I want to make sure. Yeah, we're doing fine. So if you're bored and you don't want to watch anymore, that's totally okay. But let's go ahead and give this one a try too. So here we go. We've got our 2 cards. So you're going to take your inside card. We're going to save this one for later. And this actually, you know what? I forgot to say this earlier. The concept of taking a piece of paper and putting it inside works really well for like other cards. We have so many cards downstairs that people have given us, and maybe you really like the cover, but you don't like the middle or you don't like the inside. You can utilize these cards and their envelopes and make your own pop-ups. So kind of a fun thing to do, to just embellish a card that already exists. And you can also steal these cards and cut them up for their images. No skin off my nose at all. So please utilize these cards. Okay. So for this one, what we're going to do, I'm going to do my little thing down here again, is we are going to try and make this exact card, which has three mountains that are different sizes. I did 2 big ones and 1 smaller one so that it shows some depth. Ooh, so fancy. So this is what we're going to do should I leave this here? My goodness, you guys, my future as a craft YouTube blogger is in jeopardy, I believe. The good news is when you draw again on the outside, that's the part that gets glued. So it's okay to make notes or use your pencil or pen to make notes. So I went up about 1 inch because remember we don't want it to hit that middle point. And then the other thing to keep in mind is, especially if you're going to do something tall like a tree, if we put the tree here, like let's say I had glued the tree right here, when we close the card, the tip of the tree comes out. So you do have to really be careful and make sure that if you add together, what would it be? The height of your mountain and whatever you're going to paste on top of it don't exceed the width of the card or the length of the card. Okay, so something to keep in mind here. So I think that's why I did a narrower one for the tree. But if you have a little tree, you could do a little tree right here. You could do a little tree even closer. So again, this is what you just have to figure out, doing a little bit of geometry in your head. Is it geometry? Oh boy. Okay. So I'm going to do about a finger length. Please don't look at my fingernails. They look terrible. I'm going to do about a finger length. I think I hear, hey, no, come on in. I told him that you'd probably show up. So everybody say hi to Tim.
Hey, everybody.
Okay.
Welcome to my home.
Yes, exactly. We're making pop-up cards.
Okay, I'll be quiet.
No, okay. So I did about a finger length here. And then maybe right here, I'll do a knuckle. And then I'll do a little, knuckle and a half right here. Oh, maybe I'll even go a little higher and be really exciting. Okay. And so now again, we take our scissors and do the same width. So, boop. And again, this is a little thicker. So you just have to give it a little more power. Because we're making those mountains. Okay. All right, so I've made my mountains. So now I'm going to fold them in the opposite way, right? So that the whole thing will hinge. Okay. And now for this one, same idea. Remember when we folded our others back and forth? We got a hinge, but we just want to hinge the things that we're going to pop up and be mountains. So these are the mountain folds. These are the valley folds. And so now we go the other way as well, so that they'll pop in. Okay. All right. So I did 3 different, and I got to go back over here so it'll open up. So it will open up. Okay. So this is what will glue inside here. So now we got to pop those mountains. Make sure we did it right in case we need to fix anything. So I just pushed my thumb in, and then I'm going to fold over to really make sure that it's doing what it's supposed to. And look at me, I managed to not have it be too far forward, like when I goofed up on this one. So there we go. So this will be where I stick my decorations for this one, okay? So let's go ahead and now we will glue it to the inside here. And hopefully, since we're opening it this way, I won't do it upside down. And luckily, there's not a decoration on the front of the card. So even if I did it backwards, I wouldn't have messed up. Oh, boy. Okay. And now we're going to put our glue. Remember, it's important to just put the glue on the inside parts because it makes it a little easier when you close it up. I need a little more glue here. Got my, all right. And now I'm going to close it. I'll rub it, make sure it's nice and tight. Got to make sure those folds are already out. Folds are out. And so now I'm going to go this way, do the same thing on this side. Put those folds. And again, this one's a little tougher because it is that cardstock, but man, it's so pretty. I have to say, I just love the brown cardstock. I think it looks so nice and classy for the holidays, especially. Okay. Rub, rub, rub. Okay. So now, boop. Looks like I'm noticing that I need to do a little better job on my edges. No problem. We are allowed to make mistakes and fix them. That's what makes us human. Okay, perfect. Okay. So now let's see what my choices are. I've got this one, which I actually think looks really cute. So maybe I'll do that and that. And you could use either side if you wanted to do it so it was like a grove of trees. If you wanted to get really creative, you could go a little higher and then it would look like maybe we should do that. So then it actually looks like a little stem. How cute is that? All right. See, we discover things all the time. All right. That's what I'm going to do. You've inspired me. So I'm going to just put a little dot on the upper part here so that, uh-oh, my little mountain went down. Everything's gone haywire. Okay, got my mountain again. Gonna put it right here so my little stem looks like a stem. So cute. Do the same thing right here. And I guess that works to put your thumb underneath it. Look at that. So we're discovering tricks in real time. Okay, and then I've got this last one. And I don't have another pre-cut tree. So I was going to use this one as a box, but maybe I will just cut this into a tree. Oh, maybe I will drop it in my lap and cut it into a tree. Okay. Martha Stewart makes it look so easy on her show. Here we go. All right. Oh my gosh, that is so cute. And so now we'll write a little message. We'll say, wishing you a warm holiday. Wishing you a warm holiday inside. Stay out of the forest. Love, Missy. Ta-da! All right. We did it, you guys. We did it. We have made 3 beautiful pop-up cards in 3 different unique styles. You're amazing. I do want to say, if this turns you on, like if you've really enjoyed it, I actually found another cool template for a star that I would be happy to print out for anybody who really got into it. This one took me a little longer. It's pretty simple to cut out, but it's the folding. It's the folding that is the tricky part. But if you would like to give this one a try, I'd be happy to print this out for you. And then I was amazed at how many pop-up artists there are and how many of those people have free templates for folks to enjoy. So if that is something that interests you, just let me know. I'd be happy to share those resources as always. And I wish you the merriest of holidays, the happiest of Hanukkahs. Where'd my Hanukkah card go? Yes. Merry and bright. Oh, I don't even. It's somewhere. Okay. All right. Well, have a great day. If you need a kit, just come down and grab one. If we're out of kits, just let me know, and I'd be happy to put another one together for you. Okay. All right. Have a great day. And next week, your winter workshop instructor will be Ummi, and I'm not quite sure what she's making. I think it might be something. I think it might be something to do with Scrabble tiles. I think. But I'm not positive, but we'll let you know ASAP. All right. Have a great day. Bye.